Hello everybody, welcome to the stream this evening. We're able to get started pretty early tonight. It's a little after 9 and I'm hoping we can actually get in a couple of events today. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, but before we get to the games, we have some packs to open. So as you all know, I have not played a lot of the ladder this past month. I've been focusing on events. But because we got up to platinum last month, we were down to gold this month. I did play 2 games of ladder just so I could see how that looked in untapped.gg and also so we could at least get our packs from this month. And in addition to that, we did drafts. We were drafting at the beginning of the month to try and get our collection as much as possible. So we had attained the rank of gold in draft as well, and so we got 2 packs for both of those a piece. So we have 4 packs to open. We got 2,000 gold, and I want you guys' opinions. So I've been focusing on the events. I'm trying to build up the gold, but I was thinking that, you know, if I'm going to play a couple games each month anyways to try and like just kind of, you know, bolster, say I wanted the gold rewards every month. You know, I've dropped down to silver now, so I'd have to work my way back up to gold, and then I'd get those rewards, and then I'd drop back down to silver again. I think that is probably worth it, and if I'm going to do that, the question is it worth it to, you know, work up to mythic once and then kind of just, you know, on a monthly basis work the way back up through diamond to mythic? I'm assuming that's going to be a lot harder and probably more time consuming than going from silver to gold or gold to platinum or whatever, you know, whatever rank we decided to stop at. But you know, that thought crossed my mind today. We had talked about how I don't want to, you know, get to mythic and then continue to grind in mythic, because as I build up my collection, I just don't find that to be a good use of time, because you don't gain the cards as you would in the standard events for your finish, as well as, you know, right now our win percentage with mono green is right around 70%, which means we are well within the realm of actually gaining gold every time we enter an event. On average, we actually lost gold for the first time yesterday in an event, but on average we're making money when we enter an event. So that's something that I'm thinking about. I think that I will probably, well, obviously, once Crimson Vow comes out, that will be sometime in the next month, and we will play limited again, so I'm pretty sure my limited will go up naturally kind of on its own as part of that. However, I would like your input on the constructed side of things. That being said, I'm also curious about this. I noticed in the mastery that we only have 10 days left, and I know last time the mastery went right up until the day that Midnight Hunt came out. I was playing for a week or 2 prior to that, and so my question is, I mean, they just started spoiler season this past week. I didn't think that it would be out in another 10 days. Is that the date the Crimson Vow releases on Arena, is 10 days from now? I'm pretty curious about that. If anyone knows, let me know. But for now, we're going to go and open our 4 packs, and we will unfortunately be one pack short of gaining our mythic wild card, which is honestly fine. We don't have anything to spend our mythic on. I mean, we have plenty to spend our mythic on, but nothing in particular that we're wanting right now mythic wise. We would take some rare wild cards in these packs, certainly. But let's see what we get in pack number 1. Curse of Shaken Faith, definitely not one that we have any interest in playing with right now, so let's hope we fare better in the next couple. We got an uncommon wild card for our treble. Okay, this is, I don't think, very good either. But you know what? We have to open them sometimes, so just get them in the collection. Also not good. Alright, we're striking out with these packs, but that's okay. Like I said, the cards we really want to finish our deck are not in this set anyways. We want trolls and mammoths. and Sludge Monster. Okay, so nothing good, and unfortunately no rare wild cards, so nothing to report, and we'll just get on to the games. So as always, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the deck for a minute and just let you guys take a look. Maybe. There we go. My new cards. Yeah, these cards are not getting played, so I don't need to see them. So here's the deck as it stands. Yesterday we made a few modifications to the deck, and I'm happy to report that, as I was hoping would happen, Untap.gg did save off and recognize that we were on version 2 of the deck now. And so basically what we did was we took out one Tangled Florahedron and one layer of the Hydra, and we put in the third Old Growth Troll and an additional Snow-Covered Forest. So that is where the deck stands at the moment. I have been working on figuring out how to do clips and things. I have gotten, honestly, I think I'm pretty comfortable now making timestamps on the YouTube videos. I am going to go back and find a good clip of myself discussing the deck and kind of where I'm at with it, and I will eventually try and put that up as a highlight and as a separate video on YouTube. But for now, if you have any specific questions about the deck and you would like to know my thoughts on a card that's here or a card that's not, then just let me know. And otherwise, be on the lookout for the deck tech, hopefully in the next few days, as I continue to try and find a balance between working behind the scenes on different things. I have been enjoying streaming quite a bit, but with that comes a huge learning curve where I'm trying to figure out how to do a ton of things all at one time that I have never previously done. So with that, there's the issue of prioritization of things, and you know, right now I'm just trying to kind of keep my feet moving, and I think I'm progressing the channel in some meaningful way every day. But at the same time, I will obviously not have everything that I want to do up and done you know, in any meaningful period of time. So just kind of keep that in mind, and like I said, be on the lookout for the deck tech. But if you'd like to know anything, just ask if you're in chat here tonight, and then obviously if you're watching on YouTube, you can post a comment and I'd be happy to respond. I still have not gotten a comment on YouTube, so please, if you're watching on YouTube, give me a shout and let me know that you're out there. I'll be excited when I get that first comment. I will say though, I got my first like on YouTube today, I believe, and that was pretty exciting. I was happy about that. And I went into the analytics for the first time, and I saw that some people had come directly from the link, I'm assuming, in the Twitch. And actually, though, I had gotten some traffic that had come from a search of some magic related topic that they found my video and clicked on it, which was pretty exciting. One thing that I will say is that the average watch time on my video right now is 16 minutes. So that means a couple things to me. One, these intros at the beginning maybe should be a little bit more concise so that we actually get to the gameplay before we lose people. But two, I think maybe you know, the timestamps will help out with that. So I haven't seen the data with the latest two videos that have had the timestamp available for the game. So maybe if people can get in and just find the games as they start, we'll get people watching a little bit longer, which would be exciting too, and maybe get some more interaction on the YouTube. So looking forward to that. Alright, so starting off with our new standard event from the beginning. I tried clipping those things yesterday at the starts of each of my matches to try and more easily find the timestamps. That did not seem to work out well for me. So does anyone out there that has actually tried streaming before, you know, how do you find the starts of your matches if you are going to timestamp? Right now I'm just kind of, you know, scrubbing through manually and kind of trying to do it like that. I click every, you know, every quarter inch or so on the screen, and I just look up at the name to see if I'm playing against the same person. If it's not, then I back up until I find the beginning of that match, and if it is, I keep going. That's probably not the most efficient way to do that, so if you have any tips to keep me from banging my head up against walls as I try and figure that out, I'd love to hear about that too. I am going to keep the 7. That seems more than reasonable. We have gained 2 followers since yesterday. I got followed by one of the streamers that we hosted the other day, so I'm excited to kind of, you know, have built some two-way community with another member of the Twitch community. I think that's great. And then we also got our first follow by somebody who is not, well, actually, our second follow, I take that back. Our first follower also falls into this category, but yeah, I think against red, black. I still want the pack leader. He can kill it, but I'll be able to play the Rangers class and level it all in one turn, I think. And we've got 3 and 4 drop plays anyways. But we got our first follower that I know off stream that I told about, you know, since I started doing this. So I'm pretty excited to start kind of advertising that to friends and family. I kind of have been hesitant to do that until I had been doing it for a little while. What is this guy? Hold that thought. Boast, sack a creature, each opponent sacks a creature. I would have loved to have drawn a Blizzard Brawl for that. I think that is pretty good against us. I'm assuming he has other little dorky things. He can definitely sack the Callan next turn and kill something. I still don't think it's worth just running out the Rangers class so we have something better to sack. I think we can just run out the Tracker and, you know, sack the pack leader and just try and be aggressive. You know, start swinging him with the Tracker because it can trade with the Valkyrie if he doesn't decide to swing or whatever. If I could pump the Rangers class, I would do it this turn, or, you know, drop and pump, I would do it so I'd be able to attack with the pack leader. But I mean, I can't attack in with the 5/4. Like, they know the only removal this deck normally plays is Blizzard Brawl, which is not an instant speed combat trick. So that's unfortunate. This thing is pretty good against us, and we couldn't even attack to start pressuring them. So not looking great already so far. But anyways, back to my point. What I was saying before. You know, I've kind of been hesitant to share with too many people until I decided if this was something I'd like to do. I just didn't feel it was worth kind of mentioning if it was something I was going to stream for a few days and be like, you know what, I really don't like doing this at all. But that is not, oh, he's not boasting, okay. Or no, he can do that anytime until end of turn, yep. Okay. So, but we have been enjoying it, so I've started to share that with some people and we'll continue to do so, and pretty excited about that. So we've gotten a follower because of that yesterday as well, so I hope he stops by as well and kind of checks it out and sees what we got going on. So this is nice because it gives us some sacrifice fodder. I would love to, you know, if I'm not going to draw a way to fight and kill this, I would love to draw a Wrenn and 7, so at least I could not die to it in the air. Right now he's obviously outgaining my damage because the creature also has lifelink. He did not do anything. That is interesting. Okay. So does that mean he has instant speed effects? Probably. I am going to go ahead and play the Tracker this turn. The reason for that is I need to be as aggressive as possible. So the Tracker allows me to tap the Chariot and activate it by itself. I'm assuming he kills at least something, but I mean, I still get to swing with the cats if I tap the Tracker to do what I want. So that's what we're going to do. If the Tracker dies, I'll probably have 2 Trackers, but I'll have plenty of tokens. Yeah, so I will be sacking a clue in a turn as well. But let's go ahead and just get in with my stuff, see what he kills, and we'll go from there. I am making a cat. I just feel like I need to get as much damage on the board as possible, so I'm not interested. I won't have time to sack all these clues the way the game is going anyways. And he did not kill anything. I'm curious about that as well. Now, am I playing the Rangers class, or am I... Let's see, can I reasonably race? He goes back up to 19. I could deal another 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That would be 15, 16, 17. So that's still not lethal. Because it's not lethal... Well, honestly, it would be 12, 16... 12, 16, 18, 20... It is lethal as long as I draw another creature to crew the chariot on its own. So maybe I do this, and just... That gives me more outs. Because now I'm not just drawing to a Wren, I'm drawing to any creature that can crew the chariot. Yeah. 12 and 8 is 20 plus 1. Okay. So we'll see. We shall see. I love that he wasted all his mana that turn. Yep. Now if he doesn't play a land, presumably he didn't play anything last turn. Okay. Okay. Well, that is fair. Well, I have no lethal anymore at all. That is unfortunate. And so now we are in terrible shape, because now we can't even sack a clue and still play a Wren. So we are drawing to a Blizzard Raw, and that is it. So let's see if we hit. So if we'd have sacked the clue last turn, we would have gotten there. Let me know in chat or in a comment on the YouTube. Did I punt, or did I make a... You know, we thought about both options and we made a judgment call. Was my judgment call wrong, or did it just not work out? I honestly don't know in this situation, and I'd be interested to know what you guys think. We will continue to dig for the brawl. We do hit the brawl, so now do we have any way to make a token? Nope. Man. Unfortunate. So maybe what we should have done, now this was a punt. This was a punt. What I should have done was activate the chariot with one of the trackers, attack, make a second clue, then sack the clue. So regardless of whether or not the previous play was a punt, this definitely was. I did not look down and notice that the clue was my only token, and yeah, we unfortunately will lose because of it. So we'll just tell the opponent GG, and we will try and remember that from next time and not make the same mistake. It's an unfortunate way to start out the league. I think I just got a little bit too caught up in trying to analyze, you know, whether the previous turn's play was correct or not, or at least, you know, whether or not it was a mistake. I don't think either one could be clearly correct, but I think one may have been clearly incorrect, and I'm just not seeing it, which I guess makes the other one clearly correct. So I don't know. I might just be talking in circles, but I think we just didn't give that turn enough thought. We just got a little hasty once we drew the Wren, I think, and didn't think about what we needed to do to still be in the game. That's unfortunate. We're starting out in the loss column, but we're going to jump back in and see if we can right the ship going forward. Got a question for you guys. I mean, we're 12 videos in, and I'm just now asking this, so maybe this is the reason why you know, people are not sticking around for more than 16 minutes watching my YouTube videos. But how is it when I'm drinking water? I was watching one of the playbacks yesterday, and normally I don't think I can hear myself drinking when I'm watching the playbacks, but you know, I think definitely I could that time. I don't know if I want to mute myself every time I want to drink some water, though. I might just have to mess with the audio settings and see if I can figure out some way to make that less apparent. It's a great hand, obviously. We're going to keep. We have a 2-drop. We have our choice of 3 drops. It will probably be the Troll, but it is a little bit match dependent sometimes. Okay. Ooh, the double Hydra draw. Alright, has he got another 2-drop? No, he's got a 1. He's just, okay, doing things. You got another 1-drop? Quad 1-drop draw? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So, I know kind of what this does. Okay, so he only puts counters on himself. But if anything else gets a counter and I target it, then he gets a 1/1. I've seen this played a couple times. I don't really get it, to be quite honest with you, but I don't know. We're not going to attack with the... Well, I guess we are. I would trade the wolf for the shambler. Let's start there. Maybe in some world, if he gets real adventurous and tries to double block with like the sentinels or something, I just pump it with abundance. I don't know. Okay, he just takes it. So here, he's not applying a lot of pressure that he's going to attack back with. I can't see him attacking with these sentinels or this shambler, so I am going to play the troll and get the trampler on the board. If he kills it, it ramps me a little bit, so maybe I can double spell a turn sooner. And I think in that case, it is much better than the tracker. Okay, he's got his own troll. We do have the ability to, if he tries to trade trolls, save ours with an inscription. We could also just pump up with the Rangers class. So 5, 6, 7. If I attack with the Old Growth Troll... Oh, he tapped the troll with the Sentinel to play the pack leader. Okay. So I am just going to attack with the troll. He's just going to take the 4, and then we're just going to play the chariot. Okay, let's see if he wants to attack this turn. He probably attacks with the troll. And is he attacking with the pack leader to draw a card? He is. Okay. So the question becomes, would I like to trade... I think I'm just blocking with all the tokens. Unless he has a trick, he can pump and kill 2 of them with the pack leader. If he has a trick, or if he just wants to waste his turn pumping, I don't want to give him the chariot. We're just doing this. Okay, so that is the play. So we trade his turn for 2 of my tokens. I think that is a very good deal for me. I accept. We will get a token back next turn. He did kill the wolf. That's a little sad in case we draw a pack leader or a hunt master, but that's okay. Okay. Now I was going to equip with the tracker, or crew with the tracker, but I don't see any real reason to leave up inscriptions, so I think since we drew a Rin, we're just going to play it and get a 5/5 for our trouble. A free 5/5. Obviously we get the 1 from Rin, but the 1 from the chariot is free. It wouldn't be available to us if we play the tracker, obviously.
The trees are mighty.
Now the question is, do I attack with the 2/2 as well? I think so. I think we're just trying to get him dead. Now it is possible here that if he has a brawl, he brawls with his Old Growth Troll into the untapped Tree Folk and gets in and kills my Rin. And that would be okay. Okay, so he does now have Brawl online. It was worth noting that that was his 3rd Storm the Festival. Let's see how much material he gets. Those are some good ones. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Forest because of its beauty. The entire forest is in awe.
Okay. Does that give him the want to attack? It does not. Okay. So let's see. We're obviously going up. We are interested in our tree folk being bigger than his. Okay, we draw a couple, so that's good. We are going to go ahead and play the tracker to crew the chariot by itself. He decides he didn't want any part of it. I was going to say we are also going to go ahead and put the Rangers class on a level 2, so the chariot would at least be trading with the 5/5 tree folk if it attacked in, and it was going to make me another 6/6 tree folk. So I was pretty happy with how that was going, and the opponent seemed to agree with me. So moving right along, we're on the win column, so that's exciting. Sitting at 1-1, jumping right back in and trying to get another one. So from what I saw over the weekend, there were not a lot of additional Crimson Vow spoilers that developed. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more on Monday, so I'm hoping that I see some stuff that I'm a little bit more excited about. I'll be honest with you, the first week or so, well, I mean, however long it's been, so I guess the first week at this point of Crimson Vow spoilers, I've not been overly excited about most of the cards that I've seen. I like the cleave mechanic. I seem to be in the minority in that. However, we talked about it on stream yesterday, and my two viewers at that point both chimed in and said that they were also fans. Okay, so we're playing against blue-black. We could get Jawari Disruption here, but we've got 3 Rangers classes in hand, so we would be fine with that. No hesitation there, no stick, as they say. So maybe a little bit of a tell there. Okay, but now he does have Saw It coming up, Saw It coming proper at 3 mana. There's also a few other 3 mana counter spells, but I'm not sure how much play they see. So the question is, would I rather get Old Growth Troll countered or Tracker? And I think in this matchup I'd rather get Old Growth Troll countered, because I don't think either ability is all that relevant, although Trample is a little bit more relevant than Vigilance, I guess, because of birds. However, the extra card off the clue I think is better than the ability to trample over birds. So we're definitely interested in doing that. He also could divide by 0 here. That's another way that the blue decks are able to get ahead of the green decks, is just... Okay, so I get to ramp. That's exciting. We're not ramping into anything, except we can ramp into a double spell next turn, or we can do like a tracker plus level up the Rangers class. It looks like he's killing my wolf, so I'm probably not doing that. I'm probably trackering and playing another Ranger class. Notably, he did not play a land last turn, did he? Interesting. Okay, so he did draw a land. The opponent drew a land, excuse me. I'm getting better at that. I'm trying to. At least I'm cognizant of it. Go blank. Well, I definitely am discarding the 3rd Rangers class. I think I'm also discarding the Tracker instead of the Chariot. I can play the Chariot next turn, and then the Tracker creates 1 token. The Chariot has the opportunity to create more than that, or at least create 1 if I wanted to. It could also create a wolf if I thought that was better. So I think we're just doing that. Okay, so unfortunately I can't play both of these cards in the same turn, which means one of them might get discarded again next turn. Nothing to do about that. It's honestly, it's tempting to play the Troll here, because then I can also level up the Rangers class, and I am interested in getting them dead. I'm not sure what mass removal black-blue plays. There is the... what is it, Shadow's Verdict for 5, I believe, double black and 3. I'm just going to play the Chariot. We can't play around everything here. We can play around mass removal or another discard spell. well, I guess first of all, we'll just get in. We are giving away information, though, that we're not pumping either of these Rangers classes before doing so, but I don't think he's got much 1 mana interaction that really matters for that anyways. I guess he could have had a Fading Hope, but what is he going to Fading Hope there? I mean, if he Fading Hopes the tracker, I'm happy, because it insulates me against a single discard spell, and it gets me another clue on the way back down. If he Fading Hopes the token, I mean, I'm fine with that. So it does not look like opponent drew another land. He is main phase deluging. Can we get him dead next turn? Probably not, because we played the troll. If we didn't play the troll, or if we had played the troll, we could have made the other troll end of turn and gotten him dead. Actually, no, he is dead. We're going to play the troll, crew the chariot, and also attack with the cats. So he now needs land plus Fading Hope in his hand in order to survive, and even then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, and that land does not produce blue, but that does mean he could have other interaction. He could have, well, that's a sorcery, right? Yeah, but he could have, I don't even know, so I guess some red removal spell, probably. 1 mana red, I don't know. Like a play with fire kills one of the cats. That's not enough, though. I don't know, we'll just play it out and see. Okay, so we'll play the land, well, no, we'll just manually tap. If I played the land here, I'm reasonably sure that it would leave the troll open, but I don't want to give away that we drew a Haven, so I'm just going to play this manually. He's not given up, so presumably he has some sort of interaction. Either that or he just wants to see if I see it. That's also a reasonable possibility. Okay, Demon Bolt was the Foretold card. Okay, that is fair. So opponent lives at 2, but he's still in a lot of trouble. Alright, good luck, opponent. Okay. That's fine. So even if he kills everything on the board, we still present 2 lethal threats. We sacrifice the forest into turn to make the troll, and we still have 3 additional snow-covered forests to activate and attack with the Faceless Haven. So the opponent was fighting a very uphill battle, and it looks like they did not make it. Okay. So feeling good about that, back above 50%, and hopefully gonna get further above 50% as we keep on keeping on. Is this the enchantment that gives a creature +2/+2, and if it's a werewolf, it untaps it and it makes it vigilant? I think that's what that's from. I like that art. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of quite a few of the werewolf arts. Some of them, I don't know. Maybe they're just more realistic than I want, and I'm used to just seeing, things that are further from reality. I mean, obviously werewolves aren't real, but closer to reality of what anatomically they would look like if real. And I just want something more fantasy driven. So I don't know. There's just something about them that doesn't look aesthetically right to me, but that could be just my novice artistic eye. I don't know. Like I said, oh, we got draw bugged. I knew it had been a while, so I started talking about something, but I didn't realize it had been so long we were going to draw bugged. One of my chat members once, I think it was Bix, I'm not 100% sure, they told me that there's another bug that happens less often, and they said I think primarily it happened in draft, but it affected one person and it did cause them to lose the round. And that's crazy to me. You know, we talked about how that, you know, things would happen a long time ago in MTGO, and they would have a method for you to go through to recoup your cost for an event if something happened. And apparently there's something similar on Arena, but it just seems like that's been so long, and they should have figured out kind of how to make that much more stable. But, you know, at the same time, I understand that every time you update or upgrade or change something, that you open yourself up to these weird things happening that you may not expect. This hand is not great, so we're going to mulligan. This hand is better, and as always, the Huntmaster has showed up just in time to give us an easy decision on what to put onto the bottom of our library. So we appreciate the Huntmaster, if for nothing else other than that. Okay, so our opponent also mulligan to 6. We are on the play. I'd almost forgotten. Now that I'm in a game, I'm going to try to exclamation point deck. Okay, and that does work, so that's exciting. I think that possibly that had worked the entire time then, and maybe I just didn't realize that not only did I have to have Arena loaded up, but I also had to be in a game. So that's interesting and exciting. So now I can tell people that whenever they want to see the deck list, if they join after we've begun, that they can just do exclamation point deck and they can take a look. Oh, sad. I wanted a chariot next turn. Oh, they're scrying to the top. Okay. Seems like they're happy with how their hand is developing too. I'm a lot less happy now that... Oh, interesting. Oh, it is. I was about to say, I thought that was the red-blue land, and I thought I was comfortable enough with the art that I didn't actually have to look. And then when he played this, I was like, maybe I was wrong, and it's the blue-white. So this is Jeskai control. Interesting, interesting. Well, maybe he has another Fading Hope. If he does, he's going to have to give me another clue when this thing comes back down. So there. And no pause at the end of my turn at all. So probably not another Fading Hope in his hand right now. In opponent's hand right now. Would love to draw a 4th land. And we do. So that's exciting. We stay on curve. Unfortunately, if they've got a Jawari Disruption, they are going to get us. But nothing to do about that, except possibly see if they're interested in like dividing by 0 this tracker before taking any damages. I doubt it because of the clue. They could also just divide the Azika's Chariot on the stack. That would also be a fine play. But I'm hoping that we get it in. It doesn't look like we're getting it in. The pause here. Okay. Okay. Well, so they've got something to do. Let's see if they choose to do it. Maybe this is Faithful Mending. It is Faithful Mending. Okay, I'm much happier with that. Obviously, you know, I don't like them having card selection there. I would have much preferred they just pass in and didn't do anything, you know? But, that being said, okay, so they discard a 2nd Fading Hope and a Spikefield Hazard. I am happy to see them discard the 2nd Fading Hope. I know that they're, you know, that is strictly card disadvantage. Although I guess they could have bounced a token, but it's probably not the thing that they are bouncing if they were to fire off Fading Hope. But it's such a tempo positive play, and I have to get them dead. I have to imagine even if they're Jeskai colors here, they're not, you know, they have not left out the Alrund's Epiphanies. They're still hiding, lurking, and since red is involved, probably also still with Galvanic Iteration as well. So we do not have all the time in the world. Okay, so they kill the tracker. I accept. Drawing another land here would be great, especially now that they're tapped out. Obviously, that would get us to Ren, so we could... honestly, the real reason to get Ren here is not because we can make 2 Tree Folk, but at least the 1 Tree Folk would be able to crew Chariot by itself, so we could attack for 8 this turn and get him to 10. I honestly... Is it crazy to not copy the Tree Folk and to copy the clue instead? Is that just cute for being cute, or is that honestly what I'm supposed to do here? The creatures on the board, I get them to 10. The creatures on the board are lethal by themselves next turn. So honestly, I think I'm copying the clue. That might be silly. I don't know. We shall see. But this is the turn that if he drops a red source, he could sweep. Or he could Doomscar. There you go, just hard cast a Doomscar. Oh no, he didn't. That was a suspend card. He still got 2 mana. But he could have just hard cast it. So now we can go up, then play the second Ren, attack for 4, get him to 6. Would love to draw a Faceless Haven off this Ren. Ren does not cooperate, and I almost whiffed. I'm happy to have at least hit 1 land there, though. Let's see. If I play the Cobra, I can Cobra plus Ren. Maybe that's the play, and make him Wrath the token plus the Cobra. Not the Chariot. No.
We contain fire. Heed the trees. They prepare for war.
And I think we're just making another clue. Behold. I don't see Behold in a lot of these decks anymore. I still enjoy Behold, but maybe you just can't afford that much draw. He did also play Memory Deluge, correct? No, that was previous opponent. Okay, so maybe they've preferred to stay with Behold. They're going to need some help. I think it's going to start with a Fading Hope on the Tree Folk. Or just a Sunset Revelry. Yeah, once you play the second land, the Sunset Revelry is pretty clutch there. Okay. Let's go up. Still no Faceless. I really would have loved a Faceless Haven there, because what we could have done was actually activate it and then just tap it to crew the Chariot, even though it couldn't, even though it's summoned sick. So I wouldn't have to commit anything else to the board, but I could have crewed the Chariot. I'm kind of interested in cashing in one of these clues and seeing where we're at, and then I can decide if I just need to slam the second Chariot into the Legend rule. Oh no, we got there with the Haven. That's excellent. That's a great follow-up threat for our next turn too. Now, I don't think I'm attacking my Lotus Cobra into his 1/1. Although, why not? Yeah, I guess I am. Are we copying? Yeah, I think we're just copying the clue token again. Okay. And the epiphanies begin. Let's see how many of those they can get in a row. Hopefully not too many. Okay. That does mean they cannot epiphany again this turn. Opponent is hard at work thinking about how to do this. I don't blame him. The last thing that we want to see is them deciding what to keep with the Faithful Mending, and then attacking with the birds. If they attack with the birds, we're in big trouble. So I can't imagine a world in which they do, since they don't have the ability to Epiphany again this turn, and I don't know. Maybe they draw land Doomscar, or okay, they're discarding a Doomscar. That's also interesting. And a Divide. The Divide can't hit the Tree Folk, so I understand that play, but okay. Opponent's still deciding if they want to attack with these birds. They decide against. We did not draw much help, so I think we are interested in starting with a clue and seeing if we can find something to once again accrue the chariot. Ideally, that would take us down to 4. Then even if we played a land, we couldn't find a troll or a tracker, play it and then still activate Haven. That's unfortunate. So maybe we just go digging for a second Haven with the Wren first. We whiffed. We just whiffed. Well, serves us right. Okay. Man, that is kind of a bummer, huh? He's going to get some reprieve here. We are going to activate. Okay, so we did find the tracker, but like I said, we won't be able to both play the tracker and activate the Haven. I think we should just go ahead and I think we should play the tracker. I think giving him 2 creatures to destroy the Wrath, if that's what he has, is fine. And I'm still interested in getting in some damage, or at least having him chump block with these things, and then continuing to grow my clues and have the Faceless Haven to act as a follow-up once he deals with the stuff that's in play. I also have the second Chariot if he ever deals with the first one. The unfortunate thing here, if he does Destructive Mastery me here, I am going to lose all these clues. I'll only be able to cash in one of them in response, and that would be unfortunate. So okay, I think they're digging pretty hard for that right now. Obviously there can be other things that will keep them in the game short term, but I think if they do ever find one of those, it will be something that catches them up quite a bit. See, now this I am fine with. I will be taking Wren down again this turn. I wasn't interested in losing the Wren to do that last turn, but this turn I can just take Wren down. He's only got 2 mana up. I am going to crack one of these clues, start getting that advantage back. A third Chariot's not the best. Another land is not the best. But we are going to go down. We are going to activate both our creatures. I think this time I will make a 8/8. And we'll go ahead and play a land and end the turn. They're now 9/9s. Let's see. This is the last turn. Opponent's got a card for Told. We don't know what it is. It could be an Epiphany. That could be 2 Epiphanies. That's definitely one. I guess if the other card is an Epiphany, the worst card in the deck he can draw is a Galvanic Iteration. If he draws that, we probably lose. And they didn't. And the other card was clearly not an Epiphany. I don't know what it was, but clearly not an Epiphany. Happy to take that down. The deck is favored against those style of decks. More so against the Is It than the Jeskai, I would assume, because we really are affected quite a lot by the Destructive Revelry. So was glad they either didn't have that card or never found it. We can lose that matchup, though, in a number of ways. It's definitely something that the more bounce they have, the better off I think they are. I was really quite ecstatic when we saw them discard that second Fading Hope to the Faithless Mending, or Faithful Mending. I'm not sure what else they had in their hand at that point, so obviously I'm not saying that it was a mistake, but I was happy to see it, and it did allow us to get some early pressure in. I do think that looking, if I go back and review this game, it's possible that I will like the way we played. It's also possible I will say, I made a few too many clues. You'll notice we still had 3 clues at the end of the game, and maybe I should have tried to balance in getting a little bit more damage in and just kind of floating 1 or 2 clues. So that's completely possible as well. I might have missed the opportunity to close the game out a turn or 2 sooner, and if he had been able to chain that last Epiphany into a win, I probably would have looked back and found some way to buy myself 1 less turn so he didn't have the opportunity to do that. So I don't think, we probably did not play perfectly there, so that's all I guess I'm saying. Hand's not great, but the Brawl will be on turn 3, so if we have to waste 2 mana, but we have something to Brawl, I won't be ecstatic, but I'll be okay. If we draw a 3-drop, I'll obviously also be okay. And other than that, our curve is quite nice. Blue-black. Duress once again hits. I guess there's 12, 16. I guess we're weaker to Duress than maybe I'm giving it credit for. There's the classes, the Brawls, the Chariots, and the Wrens, and the 1 Unnatural Growth, so there's actually 17 hits in the deck. Oh, and the 1 Inscription, so 18. Yeah, Duress is better than against us than I originally thought, so I guess we shouldn't be as surprised that they hit things when they duress us, but there are definitely hands that can produce that do not have any non-land, non-creature spells in it, so I'm still a little hesitant to think that main decking duress is the way to go in best of 1, but maybe it's serviceable enough against mono green. It's obviously great against the Epiphany decks, but don't you just absolutely hate your life when you have that card in your hand against mono white? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're just good enough against mono white anyways. Maybe you're very heavy on the meat hook massacres and whatnot. I don't know. So we are thinking about counter magic here. We are still going to run the troll into that, though. I think we're going to attack first. I could choose to play a Ranger's Class in order to play around Jawari Disruption. I think that's a losing play, though, because then next turn... Well, I guess they took my Chariot, so then next turn I could play the Old Growth Troll on 4. But since he killed my Wolf, I don't have to make those hard decisions, and I can just play my Troll. It'd be disaster here if the Troll got Fading Hoped, but it did not, so we dodged a bullet there. Okay, we're up to 4 lands. Notably, they are not snow lands, so we will not be having to play around Blood in the Snow this game. I think we're interested in going ahead and getting the Faceless Haven down, playing the Ranger's Class. As long as it dodges a counterspell, we will go ahead and pump it and try and attack for 5. If the Troll dies, fine. It just ramps us into, possibly Ranger's Class level 3 plus a play off the top or something like that. If it gets countered, we don't have anything else to do with our mana, but we do get in for 4 in that case. Okay, just killing the things. Killing the things. That'd be a real beating if he followed that up with some LD spell that I don't know about. Instead, they just draw cards main phase. looking for a land? No, they played a land this turn. Unclear. Unclear. Okay. So, green light to do what we want this turn. What do we want to do this turn? Well, I would love to be able to drop the chariot plus do something else. That's not in the cards, though. 1, 2, 3. We cannot also not attack with the Faceless Haven and do anything else either. That's unfortunate. So, I still think I'm interested in getting Chariot down prior to Rin, even though it's not as mana efficient. We'll just start with an attack here. Odiddums. Oh, we're getting massacred. That's okay. We still get our chariot. We still have the Faceless Haven and the Troll enchantment. We've got plenty of things. He gets some tokens. He gains some life. That is not the end of the world, although it is obviously not the best thing that could have happened either. So,
Trees are old and wise. Heed their lessons.
okay. Wonder what this deck uses for its finisher. Probably just Planeswalkers. Probably Lawlith and Onyx. I don't know. I mean, obviously the snow decks do that a lot better because they can play it out early, use it to kill some stuff, and then get it back later with a Blood in the Snow. I would assume maybe blue-black non-snow would need a more resilient late-game threat, but I'm not sure what that would be. Lotus Cobra is not the best draw here. Let's go ahead and go up with the Rin. We missed again? Oh boy. Alright, well, you know, sometimes you just gotta miss, right? Let's see. I think we're just... I mean, yeah. I think we're just using one of the Tree Folk to crew, attacking for hopefully 10, and then creating a third Tree Folk, and going up to level 3 on the Rangers class, keeping up the ability to make Troll end of turn. All that sounds good. So let's go ahead and implement that plan. Oh, I did lose out on a damage by not playing the land first as well, didn't I? I did. That's unfortunate. Hopefully I won't come back to bite us, and I don't think it will, since I think most of our attackers for the rest of the game are going to be greater than, greater than 3 power, 4 power or greater. I don't think I'm interested in playing that. I'd rather play threats at the end of his turn. And by threats, I mean the good game, sir. Or opponent. Good game, opponent. That phrase, good game, sir, is just ingrained in me. That one's going to take a while. But good game, good game. So after our initial little misplay that cost us the first game, we have rattled off 4 in a row. We're sitting at 4-1. I'm going to take a quick break real quick to go get some more water, and then when I get back we will continue on and try and close out this event. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we are back. So, we're at 4-1 right now, and we're gonna jump right back in. An opponent was just waiting on us. Nokke. So I have started putting in addition to the timestamps, I've started putting the names of the opponents in the timestamps as well for the games. So if you do find that you've played against me at some point, you should be able to go back through the videos and kind of look for yourselves in the timestamps. I'm not sure. I assume that if you search for your name, it won't show up as my timestamp. Maybe it does. Maybe since it's in the description, it will show up. I don't know. Especially if your name is not a common name or anything like that. It's possible. I don't know for sure, but that is something that I'm doing. I'll be interested to see. Maybe I'll over time see that I play some opponents multiple times. It'll be fun to see if we have any little rivalries that develop or anything. This hand is not great. I think I'm going to keep. My reasoning is that the Rangers class can do a lot if we don't have anything else to do, as long as we draw one additional land. The Brawls are obviously not at their best against anything that plays a deserted beach on turn 1, but that's the chance that we take. I've told you before, I am biased towards keeping. Is this the same opponent as before? I'm not sure. If it is, they have a much better chance at winning because we are drawing nothing but cards that do nothing in the matchup. That's unfortunate. We have not drawn a 4th land. We have not drawn a... obviously, if we haven't drawn a land, we could not draw a 3rd snow-covered forest. The Brawls are active, but I don't anticipate them playing your creature anytime soon. So we are in bad shape. Hopefully we draw a land next turn to at least get the Rangers class up to level 3. Of course, yeah, we're in trouble. Of course, against blue, divide by 0 once we've pumped 8 mana into a Rangers class is not ideal. Man. I mean, obviously there are not many decisions here. The one thing that I can do this turn is to pump the Inscription of Abundance onto the wolf and just hope that we can get there before he does anything. Maybe his sweeper is Burn Down the House or Frost and Fire. I will get above Frost and Fire fast enough. I'll also actually get above Burn Down the House fast enough if I just use the Rangers class. So I don't think I'm pumping with Inscription. It just plays too poorly to a bounce spell. It would have to be Fading Hope, but it would, I mean, yeah, if he Fading Hopes in response to this Inscription, I would just have the opportunity to do nothing for the rest of the game. Although, maybe that's just a chance I gotta take. He can't divide by 0 it, but he could presumably divide by 0 the Rangers class and then just find an answer to it. Yeah, sorry. Alright, we will not do it. Although I feel as though it's worth considering. Also, I guess if he had a 4 damage burn spell, like a if he is the dragons version, I don't think any of the 3-colored versions are dragons, but Dragon's Fire would have been very, very poor for me in that situation. Okay, so we've got options now. We'll go ahead and play the Snow-Covered Forest. Will we? No, I guess we get in first. See what they do. The only thing that I could have done with that Snow-Covered Forest is pump up the Haven, but I don't think I'm interested in doing that this turn. I'm honestly pretty interested in just playing the Troll, because now that he's down to 8, like, I'm presenting lethal on the board with the Haven and the Wolf, and so if he doesn't have any way to stop that yet, then I don't want him to Deluge, and so I'm pretty incentivized to make him choose between countering this and playing a Deluge. They may also be thinking about that same interaction in which they would like to do, and they decide that they would like to Deluge. Yep. Okay. So I may be about to get Doomsguard here. But if that's the case and I draw a land, I can play the Huntmaster, because I will have the enchantment on the forest. It does not look like that's the case. Oh, nope, it is. Okay, good. So we're getting Doomsguard. Let's see if we can draw a land here. That would be ideal. If not, the backup plan is obviously to attack with a Haven. We draw a tap land. Oh, wasn't that just the worst? Yeah, we're playing a tap land, we're attacking with the Haven, and I don't think we can do anything else. If that was lethal there, I would have tried it. Like, if the inscription was lethal, I would have tried it. But as it wasn't, I don't think it's worth. Turns out I wouldn't have killed him anyways. Now, if they just try to Revelry to make some blockers, like if they Galvanic Iteration, Revelry, or something like that, it's possible we can just use these brawls and this inscription and just kill all the blockers and still get him. Okay. Oh, he won't make creatures anyways because I don't have any creatures, so yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's just to gain life, right? And draw cards. Gain life and draw cards. So he goes up to what? 9. So, oh, he goes up to 13. Okay, so I definitely can't kill him. 4, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8, and I can't brawl because he doesn't have any creatures. Yeah, okay. So I think we just play the Huntmaster. Right? I don't know. I don't think any of these options are any good. We're just going to play a Huntmaster. I'm pretty sure we have lost this game. Our hand was just too bad. But we're gonna keep fighting. We've definitely won games that we've thought we were out of before. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If this is another Revelry, this time he gets 4 blockers. Yep. He gets life, and he gets tokens, but he does not get cards this time. So, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm not anywhere close to lethal. Well, can I kill all 4 of the tokens and still inscription? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, yes, but not and attack with the Faceless Haven, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm 1 short of also inscriptioning. So, but I can, I can triple. No, I can double brawl plus inscription. Oh man, let's see. Oh, I did that wrong. Yeah, that was not great. I should have. What I should have done was done the first two off of this land, so I had the one ups. Because what I was interested in was going to combat and then doing the inscription in combat, so I could attack with this first. I'm just going to use this mana now to kill the third one, and then I'll leave the inscription up for next turn to get it for its full value, I guess. So we get in for 13. Put him to 8. I mean, it's the best we can do for that turn. Or at least that's the best that I could come up with. It's possible that there was a lot better. But, okay. They get more birds, or more blockers. This time they fly, but that's not really relevant. Okay. Digging. I like that they're digging. I also like that that was the one that they had foretold, so any other ones will cost 7. Oh, what was that? What is that thing? Oh, that's the land. Okay. Another revelry. Ugh. So many revelries to get through this game. Unfortunate. That looks like another epiphany. Well, I think this turn we're just firing up Haven. It seems weird that the game's gone this long and I still haven't gotten Ranger's class up to level 3. That might be a mistake. I'm not 100% sure though. Our mana's been a little tight, but maybe it wouldn't have been as tight if I spent the 4 mana one turn, then just played creatures off the top until I bricked, and then I know the next turn I'll draw a land and can play it. So, I don't know. I think we're just getting in, leaving up the ability to make the 4/4 end of turn. This will flip the Huntmaster as well. Yeah, so he is incentivized to block because of that. So he could also just as easily just Wrath me next turn, and that would be another very valid reason to block with his tokens. So, but I do have the 4 mana up to. Okay, I accept that. That probably means the card foretold is a Doomscar and not a Epiphany, but it was not. All right, that is exciting. I didn't think we were going to get there. The triple Blizzard Brawl ended up just clearing out blockers enough to get in for some damages, and his draws must have been pretty poor. That deck seems to have a lot of air, you know? I mean, he has so many cards that just churn, and while that's fine, you know, the payoffs, I mean, are really just the Epiphany with the Galvanic iteration, right? I mean, that's the way the deck wins. So if you don't get those kind of pieces that come together, I mean, what else is that deck winning with? I don't know. Seems like something that we are able to take advantage of. This is our first trainer, so we did not even draft any trainers when we went through. We definitely got some trainers played against us. That didn't feel great. This is a great card in draft. And now we have one for constructed. Probably won't be playing it there, but we've got one. Alright, so 5 and 1. We're continuing to roll along, trying to win 2 of the next 3. The cat has awakened, so we'll see if she settles back down into. We've given her an extra spot now, so you know she normally sits over here next to me on a chair with a pillow, but we also have a little mat here on a blanket chest that's behind me, just giving her additional space to try and incentivize her to stay off the bed. As I told you, she's not supposed to be up there because Beth has currently got clothes and stuff up there for her business, and she didn't want her up there. So we will try and do our best to keep her focused and on task. Some Boros sleeves. Okay. Representing Boros with the mono white deck. I'm happy to be on the play here. I'm happy to have a decent curve. I would love a Blizzard Brawl. Adversary. Adversary just naked. I will trade an adversary. I will trade my pack leader for an adversary. I would do it on the block anyways, and if I do it on the attack, you know, they can't have any tricks or anything. So, honestly though, maybe I don't, because next turn, if I play two, maybe if I just play the tracker, he can't attack with the fallen. He could force a trade. Well, he could ask for a trade, and I can deny it for one turn, and then when I swing back, I draw a card. I honestly think I might do that. And then the turn after that, if I attack again, then I can represent the ability to trample over as well. And since it only has one toughness, that is quite a bit of additional damage. Normally not too incentivized. Okay. Normally not too incentivized to race here, but you know, especially with the unnatural growth in hand. Although the unfortunate thing with the double faceless here is that, you know, the second one does not help towards the unnatural growth at all. So here, I do think I'm incentivized just to take 3 for one turn and eat the Usher. I mean, he's already tapped out, so this is free. Yeah, I think that was a poor attack. If he only attacks with the adversary, I'm pretty sure I just trade here. The third Faceless Haven. Okay, so the unnatural growth looking pretty silly right now. But that's okay. So now that he's gotten in with the adversary and removed my second blocker with the Cathar, I am now behind in creatures, and so I'm incentivized to not attack. But then again, the Chariot is going to... He didn't have any hasty creatures. Yeah, he didn't have any hasty creatures. I'm going to attack. This is weak to another adversary pumping, though. Honestly, I'm not going to attack. Yes, I am. If he adversaries again, he will be able to get in for... No, the adversary is... I don't want to trade hits with something with life gain either. No, we're not attacking. We're not attacking. Okay. Yep. Oh, but he didn't have the 4th land first, so that's great. I do love to see that. Okay. Man, these Faceless Havens are not looking great right now. Honestly, yeah, I think I'm popping a clue just to try and find a 3rd green. The reason for that is I'd love to play the Troll to be able to activate the Chariot on its own. And we get there, so that's great. I will be attacking with the pack leader this turn as well, obviously, because I will get to draw a card. Okay, Mammoth is good as well. If we don't draw an untapped green source next turn, it does ensure that 2 turns from now, we will be getting an unnatural growth. I'm happy to trade 2 for 1 here. I just want, you know, his board to be as small as possible. I love that they're giving me the opportunity to draw another card next turn as well with the pack leader. I think me drawing a random card off the top of my deck is better than the 1 random 2/2 that I get off copying with the Azika's Chariot. Him having the 3rd adversary and finding the land is unfortunate, but yeah, I would happily double block the Cathar there and get back my other pack leader. So we did draw the land, so I think we're forcing him into some pretty bad spots here if we just attack. Honestly, though, maybe we just attack with the big, huge troll and leave everything else to block, and then we just kill him next turn. He doesn't care. He has decided we've already, or they have decided we've already won. I don't know that was the case. I don't know their hand. Maybe, I don't know. I still think we had to play carefully for at least that one more turn, decide what things we were attacking with. But opponent clearly thought they were not interested in finding out, so I'm happy for that too. All right, 6-1, going into our final game. Hopefully, our opportunity to be the final game of the event. Let's see if we can close it out. I am happy that it's only 10:30 and we're presumably going to finish up an event pretty soon. I'm normally not even quite on yet, so we will hopefully be able to get in at least another full event. Pretty excited for that. Let's see if we get draw bugged again. It seems like once it... Okay, I think we've got an actual opponent. It seems like if you don't go to a minute or more, it seems to normally be a real opponent. If it goes over a minute, I think normally... Remus, happy Halloween. How are ya? Glad to see you tonight. Did you do anything fun for Halloween? Did you go out trick-or-treating? What was your day like today? Okay, so our opponent mulligan to 6, and we are on the play. Hall normally means is it to me. Yeah, we have no reason to play the Cobra since we don't have... Well, I take that back. I mean, it's possible that next turn we Old Growth Troll plus Blizzard Brawl, but given that his first land was a Hall of Storm Giants, that's probably not likely. Okay, so it looks like this is Demir with his Hall. Do I want to walk into a Jawari Disruption? I think the answer to that is yes. So let's attack first, though. It looks like we are getting disrupted. No, we're getting siphoned. I forget that card is an instant. It seems like a card that should be a sorcery, in my opinion, but what do I know? It's not like it's taken over the metagame or anything. And we're back to dividing our trolls. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is probably one of the ways that we lose as mono green. But drawing the Briarbridge Tracker is great, because now if he wants to bounce that, we'll get clues out of the deal. We also are lucky that he's not bouncing our first threat over and over, he's bouncing our second threat, which means we are still getting in for some amount of damage each turn. There's a big difference between him bouncing the first creature I play and me having to replay it, and him bouncing the second thing that I do. He played a Consider, which means he cannot Memory Deluge this turn. He did not play the Environmental Sciences, though, which means that he is interested in doing something with his mana this turn. Presumably that's going to be Saw It Coming, the Troll that I play back down. But I don't think we do anything different. We're definitely getting in for our damage first. Maybe it's a second Divide by Zero. It is. This time on the Pack Leader, he's more worried about the more worried about the clue than he is the additional damage. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but that's his decision to make, and they have made it. So this time they get a Teachings. They will be able to draw some cards off that. Meanwhile, we have them down to 10, and we have 8 power worth of creatures in play, and a sneaky lethal next turn if he taps out with the Inscription. That would be a nice one, a nice way to get it. Okay, well, that's not lethal anymore. Fair enough, fair enough. Well played, opponent, and you leave 3 mana up. So I don't see any reason to do anything before attackers, so let's just see where we get after we attack. Obviously would not want to see another bounce spell, presumably on the troll, and that is exactly what we have. Do I want to spend the Inscription here? It does represent a lethal attacker. They will have wasted quite a bit of their bounce. I think we let the divide resolve, see what they get, and then we can decide whether or not we want to play the inscription. I think I'm incentivized to play the inscription though because we drew the land, and I'll still be able to play the pack leader back out in addition. Okay, so they got another teachings. I think maybe we do go for this. Okay. Kind of wish we had played the Trampler, obviously, but they are tapped out. We'll get to kill the Sedgemoor Witch, paying 3 life to do so, attack, get them to 3, and then play an Old Growth Troll as well. So all of these things sound positive to me. We'll actually get in for 4. Actually, this is lethal, right? If we do this here, then we play the land, so we can still pump the pack leader. He has to block the 6 power creature, and then he just dies to the pack leader. So he's gonna make us do it, and we do. GG, opponent. GG. Oh no, he gains the life, doesn't he? No, it's not life link. It's not life link. It's a triggered ability. It's not a stack ability, so it does go on a stack, which means he's dead before it resolves. That's right. I had forgotten that lifelink worked that way. We were in a game earlier in the week, and I thought I had killed an opponent, and I thought lifelink was going to be on the stack, and then it just wasn't. I'm pretty sure at one point in Magic's history, lifelink did use the stack, and they changed that at some point. But definitely gaining life off the pest is a triggered ability that did not get a chance to resolve. So we got there. This was technically a 7-0 run because we started out with a loss to start and then rattled off 7 in a row. So that's exciting. And our mythic free journey through the events continues. We do get 2 rares though. Okay, we've got one of these. I actually had this in the first version of the red-white or the red-green updates to the landfall deck. I just wanted more semi-aggressive creatures, but that also had a little bit of card advantage. And honestly, the Ward 1 and Reach together on this thing were better than expected. And, you know, you didn't get through a dungeon very often. However, the little bit of advantage you got for the few times you cast a creature in a turn before you either lost or won the game was sometimes enough to turn what would have been a loss into a win, I believe. So even in a non-dedicated venture deck, this actually seemed like a pretty good card. I do know that most of the venture decks that I've seen are white-black, so they obviously wouldn't be running this card. I've never seen, or at least do not remember ever seeing, a green X venture deck, but I would assume this card would be pretty good in it. The World Tree, on the other hand, I've not had before. Enters play tapped. As long as you control 6 or more lands you control have add 1 mana of any color. So it is a fixer. Once you get to the late game, if you have a splash for some reason, it will get you that. And it also, you can tap 1 billion mana and sack it to search your library for any number of God cards, put them on the battlefield, and then shuffle. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what all the God cards are in Type 2, or in Standard rather, but presumably this does some pretty cool things if you get to 11 mana. So there's that. Is there a deck in Standard that ramps into this? If I had the card availability, that would be a fun one to play around with, right? Yeah, I don't know. And then this guy, I know what he does. He's a pretty good aggressive threat. If we didn't have some of the cards we already had, like if we didn't have 4 chariots, this would be a good stand-in. It's obviously would not be as good, but it is kind of card advantage in its own way. It draws a card. It's always a land, but it does draw a card. And then you know, sometimes having one aggressive threat is just sometimes a little bit better than going wide, just depending on the matchup. And this thing can presumably, in some matchups, hit for more than a chariot over a similar time period. So I like this card. I have seen it played against me, and I have lost to it before. So decent threat. Happy to have it. Okay. I am going to throw the deck list up one more time since we are in between events, just for anybody who is new, who has not seen it. I think I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to submit the deck, and then I'm going to view it from this page. There we go. I think I figured it out, how to not make it as annoying. I still wish that I could edit it and then choose it without having to go back in, but either way, here is the deck as it currently stands. Remus, I don't remember if you were here. You were here yesterday, but I think you came in right towards the end of the stream, so you may not have seen the deck list. We did gain our third troll, so we got a wild card. We got our third troll, so we took out the Tangled Florahedron. We also decided to take out the Lair of the Hydra because I was finding that I was not using it very often, and it was, you know, just annoying me more than anything else that it would not turn on my Blizzard Brawls when I wanted it to. So we took that out and added a 21st snow-covered forest. So that is what we have done. So we are now on version 2 of the mono green deck, and it is being tracked separately in untap.gg, so I'm pretty happy about that. Anyhow, that's the deck. As always, I am working on the deck list video. Well, I say that, I have not actively worked on it. I will at some point work on getting the deck list video clipped and saved off to YouTube as a separate video and highlighted here on Twitch. But until then, if you have any questions about the deck list, either includes or omissions, I'd be happy to answer them either in chat here at Twitch or via the comments at YouTube. Hotovkin. I think I'm saying that right. Okay. Let's see if we can draw some more snow-covered forest to turn on this old growth troll and the unnatural growth instead of the bevy of faceless havens we found ourselves with last time. And as soon as I say that, we draw a second Faceless Haven, so working as intended. Seems to be the mirror match. We shall see how it plays out. I think I'd rather have Tracker, and then next turn we can decide if we want to pump with Ranger's Class and attack him with Tracker. Getting Tracker online and attacking with the Vigilance threat I think is very good. So we are going to offer this trade with the Wolves. I don't think he'll take it. And then we're going to play the Tracker. Even if we had drawn a third Snow-Covered Forest there, we would have played the Tracker this turn. So because of that, we still would have played the Faceless Haven. So that if we feel that that's the play, that we could attack with it next turn. The Huntmaster will be nice if we get to 6 mana. Although I have cooled on it a bit, so we will keep that in mind. The Brawl here, having the Brawl is quite nice for opponent, obviously. Especially if we don't hit another green source next turn. We may be forced into the exact same position as last time this happened. We may play the second Haven and then use both of those to crack the clue, looking for the third green mana source. It worked last time, and it would be awesome again here, but this time it did not. Unfortunately, we're on the back foot here. Anything we can do this turn? I think we just need to pump up the Ranger's Class and get in, and then we're going to try and leverage the we're going to hope to draw an untapped land so we can try and leverage the kicked inscription to catch us up. I think that's my current game plan. I'd love a block here, but I don't think we're getting it. Yeah. I didn't think so, but you know, one can hope. Should have probably got some more water before we started this second event. I'll probably pause again after this first round and go grab some more before we completely immerse ourselves again. Chariot is obviously not great for us. Whew, man. Man, oh man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just dead here. Hand just did not pan out. And sometimes that's gonna happen. Okay, well, fair enough. Pretty sure we don't have a way out of this. I'm going to take a draw step before we scoop it up, though. The question is, do we eat a 2/2 or do we trade with the pack leader? I think, unfortunately, we have to eat the 2/2, although it does give him the ability to, you know, have mana up and trample next turn. I mean, I just can't think of a way out anyways. But I think it would start with me having a, you know, a second blocker for next turn, or an additional blocker for next turn. Oh, or I can just not count properly and I'm just dead. So I don't think we had any draws to win that game anyways, but probably should have at least counted properly if we were gonna want to take a draw. But that's okay. So we started out with a loss last event, rattled off 7 in a row, finished off 7-1, and now we've lost the first first match of our next event. So let's see if we can just run off 7 in a row again. That's what I would prefer to do. That's what I'm gonna strive to do. We'll see if we get there. You had to put away groceries, but you didn't do anything for Halloween. Okay, right on. Yeah, we didn't really do anything either. My wife had gone to a Halloween event yesterday, but we didn't do anything today. We did have a few trick-or-treaters. The neighborhood is always hit or miss. We know there are kids around somewhere, but we live, you know, off one of the main roads, on a side road, on a cul-de-sac, on a loop. So it's just, we don't get a lot of the foot traffic. So we have our friends from the neighborhood with kids come by, but that's about it. So every year we end up buying a big old bag of candy because we're like, we want to have it in case kids come, but then we never end up eating it all. And then inevitably, once it's in the house, I will eat it. I'm not really a sweet tooth by nature. I would never go to a store and be like, man, I gotta get some candy, you know. I'm much more of a person that would, you know, want another serving of potatoes or something like that, something starchy, or maybe, you know, like if I was eating a steak, I'd want another piece of steak or something, but something more savory. But once it's in the house, And if it's there, why not? That exactly. Once it's in the house, might as well. So that's what ends up happening to me. So how about you, Remus? You didn't do anything for Halloween, but did you get trick-or-treaters that came by? I always get excited. The little kids are just so excited when they come around, you know. They're always in rare form. Okay, so some sort of... Red-white is normally an aggressive color combination, but they did not have a 1-drop or a 2-drop. I don't know exactly what to expect. Never been much for candy? Yeah. Now, I can't say that. When I was a kid, I enjoyed candy on Halloween just as much as, you know, probably most kids. But even then, it was kind of like a on Halloween thing. But I would not normally get candy on a daily basis. I enjoyed, you know, getting candy when we would go to the movies, though. Sometimes more so than popcorn, but maybe about 50-50. Sometimes I'd go and I'd want popcorn, and sometimes when I would go, I'd want like a Twizzlers or a Skittles or something like that. I always thought that was fun. But it was more like, you know, for a special occasion of some nature, even if that special occasion wasn't all that special. But like going to the movies is an event. It's not really just sitting around the house and eating candy. Revitalize. What is going on here? So obviously not an aggressive deck. I've only ever seen this played in the kind of life gain. Okay. Smoldering Egg is great because we just get to kill it. Is there any way that they punish us for that in this color combination with 1 white? I can't think of anything. But then again, I don't know all the cards, so that's kind of tough. The other thing is that I'm kind of incentivized to actually do this next turn because I want to get the Chariot into play, and I have nothing else to do with my mana. So I think I actually play the land, act like I'm just going to pump Pack Leader, possibly draw my card, and then play the Chariot. He can't possibly flip this next turn because it does care about mana value, and it's got to have 7 counters, right? Yeah. Now he can block the Pack Leader, but I don't think he will because of the pump. He might decide it's worth it for me to waste my turn, and if that happens, is it better for me? Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't think I would have pumped it. I think it would have been a good heads-up play by opponent to not, or to have blocked there, because it kills his egg, but it blanks his entire turn. Or it blinks my entire turn, rather. I don't know what Sweeper's... Expel is so weird. It's 3 mana. It doesn't get a blocker out of the way if it just came into play. This is the second deck in as many days that I've seen play Expel against me, and I just don't get it. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? If we draw a creature, well, so let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he's actually dead if he doesn't have a land here to do something, then he's dead, because we can activate Haven and attack with 3 4-power creatures. After we Blizzard Brawl, that'll be 1 5-power creature, and that's 13. So this is wrapped up if he does not play land plus have something to do with that 1 mana. Remus, I know you're not much for candy, but as a Halloween-themed question, what is your favorite type of candy? If you do eat candy, what candy do you like more than anything else? I think for myself, it might still be Skittles. I like that, you know, if you eat Skittles 2 or 3 at a time, you get a bunch of different flavor combination, and it kind of keeps it from getting, you know, as old. It also might encourage you to eat too many Skittles. So maybe that is the case. Okay, so he could have, or the opponent could have a removal spell now. Because of that, I think I am going to brawl with the Chariot, because there's the least chance that I'll have a one mana 4 damage spell. The other 2 are 3 damage. I'm not sure what the removal spells are in the environment, but I'm pretty sure that we won't be up against one that does 4 damage. And okay, there we go. So back to 50-50. Got our first win of the event. Happy to see that. I do not know much about what the opponent was playing. I do know that the 3 mana destroy target tapped creature is probably not the best option in that slot, so probably some card availability questions coming into play for opponent's deck choices, or at least individual card choices within that deck. But I'm always happy to have Brawl against an opponent when they drop a Smoldering Egg, and yet that deck on the whole is not going to have a lot of creatures, so Blizzard Brawl is not that great in the matchup on the whole. So always happy to have it when they have it. This hand is terrible, and we're going to mulligan. This hand is not great, but I think we have to keep. I hate keeping hands that do not have 2-drops, but I think a 6 without a 2-drop that is still functional is better than a random 5. And the question that we have here is, do we put back a Blizzard Brawl or do we put back a Wrenn? I have not seen a lot of white. Brawl is good against Goldspan. It is. I hate giving them the additional treasure. I mean, I always do it because I've got to get it dead, but it always seems like once I target it, they get the treasure and then counter my Brawl, and then I'm just sad. But it's better to have it, and then, you know, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to kill it at all. And sometimes they don't have it. It just seems like for me they always have it. We're going to keep for sure. I think we're putting back the Brawl. We have not seen a lot of mono white tonight. So maybe with the ladder reset, people are, I don't know, not doing that. So I am just going to try and go, you know, 3, 4, 5 and make the powerful plays. Emergent Sequence in a 3-color deck. So this is probably a deck that has Coma in it. We lost very badly to a Coma yesterday. However, they were reanimating Coma on turn 4, so that's a little different than what we're doing here. Obviously, though, they can ramp it out almost as quickly, and if that's what they have for the late game, there's almost no chance we win. If they have something other than Coma, we still have plenty of odds to win this game. I'm not as familiar with what red is for in the rampy style decks. I'm normally used to seeing them just be straight blue-green. Okay, red is for Goldspan Dragon. We now know what the red is for. It's always nice when you figure those things out. And this is going to be a problem because we don't have that Blizzard Brawl anymore. So we do keep drawing lands. We do have Chariot into Wrenn. That dragon is not going to kill us on its own before we get to Wrenn. And the opponent is somewhat low on cards. I am worried about some small amount of counter magic just getting us on the Wrenn, and that will probably end the game. Do I trade my tracker for the island and the innkeeper? And I think the answer is yes. We're going to go ahead and play the Haven, so if for some reason we want to attack next turn with it, we can. I don't think we will, but it's always nice to have the option. Okay, opponent is taking it. I'm happy with that because I get in free damages, and I still have tracker up as a blocker to disincentivize attacks from any of the smaller creatures. Goldspan and Brazen Outlaw. Brazen Outlaw. Oh, Magda? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, okay. So he turned on World Tree. I was like, what land is that? But yeah, I didn't see the island up here. Okay. They have all the mana they could ever need. I'm just hoping they don't drop a coma. They drop their own Wren. I'm not as worried about their own Wren. I mean, it's still a problem. Their trees are going to be bigger than our trees, and we have to start contesting with the 6/6s as well as trying to hold off the dragons, so we're going to be taxed a little bit. We are going to trade our chariot for a second token, though, or a second tree folk this turn. I think that will be worth it. Huntmaster is going to be nice, but I don't know if it's enough to keep us in this game. Because we assume that he's going to block the chariot with the tree folk, I can still attack him with the tracker. So that's nice.
It is from root to canopy. The trees are mighty.
I am interested in having both of them untapped to block next turn. Do we attack Wren? Honestly, we can attack Wren with the... We'll do it like that and say, hey, if you want to take 4 to the face and eat the tracker to save your Wren, then I get to make another tree folk next turn. I like that. I'm trying to find a new deck to play, but they're all just smacked by Izzet. This deck honestly does pretty well against Izzet. Is this is the mono green list something you've considered, Remus? Or is this just not your style of deck? Okay, so they do take the trade this turn, and that's reasonable, but at least I get some stuff off the board. And we see if we can eke across the finish line. It is nice that it killed the land. You have looked at it? Okay. I mean, it's not perfect. You'll still definitely lose some games to Izzet, but it has an overall positive matchup, I'm pretty sure. Okay, they got 2 lands, and they also get a storm. The festival is going to be terrifying once they get up to it. And they're going for it. Good night. They already had 10 lands. How many? That was about as good of a Storm the Festival as we could have hoped for. Wow. Yeah, so they've got a lot of dirtily stuff. What? What? I'm definitely taking this trade. I mean, yes, please. That's amazing for me. Oh, yeah, that's great, too. Boy, are we turning this game around? That's interesting, because I kind of want to just get Tovolar into play this turn. So I think Blizzard Brawl is going to have to wait a turn. I think we're interested in just getting Tovolar down this turn. Let's start with going up with the Wren. Okay, we get a couple lands. We don't have a Storm the Festival to get, so we don't get as much value by flipping things over with the Wren. That is, you know, I originally had both a Tovolar and a Storm the Festival in the deck, and I chose to run a second Tovolar instead of the Storm. That is something that I've often wanted, though, is Wren a lot of times just flips over so much of the deck, and I eventually have to stop doing it because I'm getting so close to decking in the really grindy matchups, and having those 1 or 2 Storm the Festivals to kind of flip something that's useful would be useful. Imagine that. So, I don't know. It's possible. I have talked about the Tovolars kind of having cooled on the Tovolars a bit. I may eventually take one out and put the Storm the Festival back in. I may also at some point, if I had the spare wild card, craft another unnatural growth and replace the second Huntmaster with the second unnatural growth. I don't think we're attacking this turn. I would love for opponent to just have to pass the turn and be able to flip the Huntmaster. That would be amazing. Wow, cashing in the Ren. I'm happy to see that. Happy to see that. Oh, he's going to be able to start getting those Storm the Festivals with the... Oh my god. Yeah, I am not long for this world. I was not thinking about these creepers being able to get back a Storm the Festival. Oh my god, he got two more. He got 2 more Goldspan Dragons. Holy cow. Well, this is what this deck can do. Yeah. Fortunately, he won't be able to quite flashback the Storm the Festival this turn. He will. Oh, the creepers too. Oh my god. This is this is going poorly all of a sudden. Imagine that, when our opponent can just generate 10 mana out of thin air. Oh my gosh. Well, I thought we had this game well in hand. We do not. We are losing this game. Let's see. Any way we get back in? I don't think so. I'm definitely interested in brawling one of the dragons. Also, do think we have to cash in our Ren as well, which is unfortunate, but I think we're too far behind not to. So let's start there.
Failure burn from root to canopy. The trees are mighty.
Play another snow covered. We can play the Faceless Haven next turn. Maybe honestly, maybe we brawl the 7/7 so that he can't copy it with the chariot. I mean, I'm just never gonna attack with these 7/7s until I block and kill all the dragons. So I think that's actually the play. Okay. He thinks I'm coming in this turn. That's cute. I am not. You have a billion chump blockers. And I am at 4. Definitely not getting in. So I think this is all I've got for this turn. I do leave Faceless Haven up this way. I don't anticipate needing it, and I will crack the clue at end of turn if I'm still alive at that point. I think it was a mistake not to. You can recrew even once the chariot is a creature, right? So not making it treasure off Magda, I think, was a mistake. I think he had enough left to do that because the cat. Yeah, he hadn't tapped the cats. He tapped the 7/7 to make his chariot the first time, so he could have cat plus Magda to make a token. Second Rin is a beating. The Manland being a 7/7 is a beating. But we're not dead this turn, so we've still got outs, or options.
Do not underestimate the forest because of its beauty. The trees can fight their own battle.
He does get to make a token now. He gets to trade his chariot in for a second 8/8, which is not great. So Remus, what is your hesitation with going in on mono green? Is it just not a playstyle you enjoy, or are you just hoping something for an even more dominant Is It matchup? If so, I'm not sure what that deck is. If you find out, let me know. Opponent is trying to decide how best to kill me. I mean, in my opinion, you should just start. I want something that doesn't lose to Is It that fits me a little more than mono green. Yeah, that's fair. Well, if you find anything that has a good Is It matchup, I'd love to hear about it. Okay, Rangers class is not a terrible draw. We are falling pretty far behind. It's asking a lot in the meta. It really is. But you're playing werewolves now, correct? I mean, mono green is not too different from werewolves. On the one hand, I want to get this Rangers class into play. On the other hand, I kind of want to flip the Huntmaster. And if I flip... Yeah, I think I'm Rangers classing, and then the next time I brick, I'll be able to flip the Huntmaster. And presumably, he's down on cards as well. Although he is going to start getting back those Storm the Festivals. But maybe he doesn't see that. I think I kind of have to hope that he doesn't see that. Mono green is a little more rampy. It depends on how you play it. I've still got a little bit of the ramp in here, but I'm slowly phasing that out. I do kind of like to play it just as a tap out mid-range deck. You might pick up mono white. Mono white's another fine option against Izzet as well, for sure. Yeah, he's starting to get his storms back. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe he decks himself. Maybe we just maybe he just can't get through everything and he ends up decking himself. I don't know. Probably not though, huh? Yeah, especially since the rest of the cards just go to the library or just go to the bottom of the library. Okay, well he gets a ton of cats. That's probably enough, honestly, because I'm at 4. He's just going to be able to swing around the blockers that I can produce. I guess I will be able to fight some things. I do anticipate a turn where I brick and have to just flip or pass the turn. Well, okay. Is it this turn? Are we dead this turn? We might be. So much mana. Oh my gosh. So he can't quite flashback next turn, right? Or this turn, so that's only 9. I have to block the flyers. Then what's the other biggest thing I can eat here? I'm pretty incentivized to block this as well. Well, I'm definitely killing that, but I guess I can block that with a... Okay, so I'm not dead. I'm probably dead next turn. But that means we're alive this turn. I love that he gave me the second creeper. I don't think it's going to matter. But it's possible that it does. What? Why did he 0? Oh, red on top. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can fight twice. So I guess what that means is I can fight a 2/2 with my 3/3. I can fight the 1/2 with my 2/2 and keep them both, and then save, block with them as well. My 9/9s are just as big as his 9/9s. So yeah, I don't think I'm playing this troll this turn. I don't know why I didn't go up with the Ren. That seems weird. Maybe it's just a misclick. It's also possible that making a Haven and then only attacking one, or only fighting once is better than fighting twice. I don't know. I guess not. I guess that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're definitely passing the turn, though, I think. We're not attacking. Let's see. I might save some wild cards for when Crimson Vow comes out. So far, it seems like a promising set. Selesnya is actually going to be good next set, I think. I'm going to build that. Oh, interesting. Oh, an Epiphany? Oh, man. Just when you think you might be getting back into it, your opponent plays an Epiphany. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Okay. Well, now it really hurt him that he didn't plus the Rin last turn. We'll have to play this turn very carefully, but I think it might still be possible to survive here. Okay. So let's go to... No, we got to decide whether or not we're activating one of these tree folk before we go to blockers. So let's see. We block the 9/9s on the 9/9s. Get those off the board. That does leave us weak to the birds, though. So maybe we have to trade pack leader for one of the tree folk. That's actually, I think, what we have to do. So the fight is going to go here, which means I'm not going to kill one of these because I'm going to fight the 2/2 and it's going to die. Or alternatively, I guess what we could do is we could block trade the tree folk and then just fight these with the birds. And then still trade off. Yeah, okay. So I think we can survive here. No, we can't. No, we can't afford that. Oh my god, we're running out of time too. Okay, I don't think we're activating any havens, so let's just go to blockers and try and figure this out. Okay, if we do it like this, we go to 1, and then we can just kill a bird. Kill a bird. Alright, let's do it. Okay. Why does he keep zeroing? I don't understand. Oh, that was his first turn. Okay, good game. Good game. Remus, you had already realized. I had spent so long trying to figure out blocks, I had forgotten that that was his that was the first turn, and he still had his Epiphany turn. God. Alright, well, we almost got back into that, I think, at some point, but was not able to turn the corner. I am going to take a quick break to go grab some more water, and when we get back, we will try and keep on. We are sitting at 1 and 2, I believe, so not great, but yeah, we'll try and rattle off 6 in a row and see if we get there. Alright, we are back. We are sitting at 1 and 2 in this second event of the night, trying to turn it around and see how many wins we can rattle off in a row, and we're going to jump back in. Remus, what from Selesnya makes you think that from the new set, what Selesnya cards have you seen from the new set that makes you think that it's going to be good in the next standard environment? I have seen a Selesnya deck show up a couple times that runs I forget her name, Catilda, I think? The 2-mana 1/1 that all your humans tap for mana, and she also can pump your team. Alongside a bunch of humans and the card that for every creature you play that turn you draw a card. And that seems like a really fun combo-ish, kind of aggro-ish amalgamation of cards. And I would be interested in looking at that, possibly once I had more card availability. Have you seen that deck before? Is that something you would be interested in? I'm not sure if I'm playing this Mammoth as a land or as a spell yet. So I guess we're incentivized to keep it. So, I have a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and then if I don't draw any more lands, I can always do second 3-drop plus Mammoth on turn 4. So I think it's okay to hold it in this case. Yeah, I'm probably playing it as a spell then. Hunt for specimens. Okay. Oh, getting aggressive. I thought he would have held that back for a double block so that I would have been forced to decide between trading or pumping with the Rangers class. I probably would not have pumped. But so against this deck, I think the trample is much more important than the vigilance. So we are going to go ahead and play the 3rd Snuggered Forest and the Troll here. Is that better than just Mammoth, though? I think so. With the 6-drop in my hand, I may still play Mammoth as a land. And it's not getting through these little chump blockers that he's presenting right now anyways. Field of Ruin. Okay, fair enough. No play. 1 blue mana means no saw it coming, but it could be divide by 0. Let's see if we can figure out if he's going to do anything with what's already in play. He did not play the sciences, so we know he has something. He's going to divide the troll. Fair enough. We're going to resolve a chariot. How you like them apples? Okay. We are finally going to trade these two. I'm fine with that. So he gets a Pest Summoning and a Necrotic Fumes. Okay. So we'll have to keep that Necrotic Fumes in mind if we ever draw a Wren. We would like to have him use that on a creature. It is a sorcery, so he can't really catch Chariot with it. We'll have to watch out for, his Blood in the Snow turn. The games that we tend to lose to the Blood in the Snow decks are the ones where they have a Lawlith prior to the Blood in the Snow, and we waste a lot of resources trying to get the Lawlith out of the way, and then they Blood in the Snow and get it back. So I'm hopeful that's not the case. Let's see, Thalia getting a reprint is going to make white really good. Yeah, I'm scared to have Thalia now in the mono white deck, honestly. That's just going to be really good in general. Let's see. But the new white-green specific cards look good. They focus on +1/+1 counters in the training mechanic. It's pretty budget as well. All of the main cards are uncommons with a few rares. Okay. I have not given the training mechanic as a whole much thought. I will have to go back and look at some of the spoilers and kind of reevaluate some of those cards. Yeah, but I'm happy that it sounds like something you're interested in. So I think I am just playing the troll here, and then pumping up with Ranger's Class. Yeah, I think all of that is pretty much what I'm doing. It is going to suck next turn if we don't draw land and we're not able to play Huntmaster because of the Mammoth. But honestly, you know, next turn could be his Blood in the Snow turn because of these Ghasts. So maybe giving ourselves some time, not playing it next turn, you know, to play around the Blood in the Snow, allows us to play it as a follow-up to Blood in the Snow, which is obviously nice. Yeah, we'll just put it on the chariot. Okay. Okay, so he does Necrotic Fumes on the Old Growth Troll. That is pretty good for us. He can't do much else this turn. So we now have the green light to, I guess, Ren. He didn't play a land either, did he? So unless he draws a land, he won't be able to Blood in the Snow. So I think I just Ren, you know, copy the token, attack for 10. He's pretty dead. Next turn, you know, if things go poorly and he does somehow Blood in the Snow, we can attack him down to 6 with the Haven and kind of reevaluate. Or we can just, we can play the Mammoth as a land, a tap land, and then just Huntmaster as well. I think that's probably better.
They prepare for war.
Okay, he also had an Infernal Grasp, but it did cost him his treasure. So we are getting in for 6. 7, actually. Very good. We are going to play this land. I think if he doesn't do it, if he doesn't sweep, we have enough pressure on the board to kill him, so. Okay. Yeah, I'm not incentivized to put more pressure on the board, so okay, he doesn't make me think it out. I think what I was going to do instead of attacking with the Faceless Haven there, I was going to go ahead and actually pump the Ranger's Class up to level 3, and that way make a decision on what I was doing with Ren based on what was on the top of my library. I mean, Ren was clearly going up, but yeah, so I guess it didn't matter what order I did it in that case for that turn. But yeah, I think that was the play, was to get Ranger's Class to level 3. He couldn't have both swept my board and dealt with the Ranger's Class, and you know, I think between the Haven and the Ranger's Class, we would have been able to finish out that game, even if he had been able to leverage the blockers from the Pest Summoning to be able to get to a sweeper the next turn. When Doomscar Titan enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. And he foretells 4/5. Yep, obviously just like a limited beater kind of situation. Never gonna see this in constructed. Alright, 2 and 2. Back to 50-50. We are 9 and 3 for the night though, so still sitting at 75% for the night. That's above our average, so if that continued, we would go up. Not that it really matters, but you know, the higher your average, the higher your gold output will be, or your gold income, I guess, would be on average, obviously on average. So we are going to keep this 2, 3, 4. Nice curve. Okay, so disruption on 1 for opponent. And it looks like we are Izzading. That's a pretty sweet mountain, not gonna lie. Well, it's a pretty sweet border. I'm not convinced I really like the mountain itself, but I like the border quite a bit. So, take that for what it is. Let's see if he's got a second disruption here. He's pretty incentivized to use it here if he's got it, and he does. Very good. Let's see if we're able to hit a natural growth on time. We will have a natural growth on time if we want it, so that is exciting. For this turn, we're going to go ahead and play out the tracker. If he's just countering or bouncing all our stuff, we're probably not going to want to play the unnatural growth on 5. Yeah, and that seems to be the case. It is a little funny that the games we've wanted it, we have not been able to hit it because of the havens, and now we've got all the force in the world, and we're not going to be able to do anything with it. It is unfortunate. We're probably just running out this chariot and hoping he doesn't have another counter, and he just has to take the time off to memory deluge. Nope. Okay. Well, that's not bad though. He's gonna get a teachings presumably, but oh, okay. What? What the hell creature are you making that you want to put counters on? What's going on here? What? Oh, we're Goldspan Dragoning. Okay. Well, presumably I can race that with the chariot into old growth or unnatural growth. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna chariot and we're gonna see if we can get him with unnatural growth, I guess. This is like, is that something that Dragons normally plays in the learn board? Is this 2 counters and vigilance? I don't know. I've never seen it. The vigilance is kind of hurting us here quite a bit, honestly. Well, not really, because what I can do is I can actually chariot before I drop the unnatural growth. Honestly, I guess I should drop unnatural growth first to make sure it resolves. Not that it really matters. If this doesn't resolve, we've lost. Of that much, I can be certain. And it looks like it's not resolving. Yeah. Unless this is Deluge, it is. Try and find a counter in the top 4. Okay. We might still be in this. They find an answer. I mean, tons of stuff get them out of this, right? So we'll go ahead and equip this, or accrue this now. Then when we go to combat, it'll be an 8/8, so it can swing through the dragon. I'm about to just start playing Brawl. I actually want to play the game instead of constant countering. Who would you play in Brawl? Who would you be interested in building? Now, he might just have second dragon here and just get us. That's completely reasonable card to have found off his Deluge and would present lethal. Okay. Oh, does he still have enough to... Oh, yeah, he does. If he plays a land... No, not even without the land. He can just... I was going to say he could flashback the Deluge, but Epiphany's just even better. Good game, opponent. We'll let him kill me, I guess. Tovalar. That's the only good commander I have. Yeah, Tovalar would be fun. Yep, good game. I told you that last turn. You weren't ready to admit that you were going to win. It couldn't possibly be true. Alright, so we've kind of been up and down, you know. I was pretty even-keeled for a little while there. We didn't have a lot of 7 wins, but we were constantly like 4, 5, and 6, I think. And now it's, you know, a 7 win every 2 to 3 times we play, and then we've unfortunately taken some very low win events as well. Although on average that is good for us because having swings over a similar win percentage is more advantageous for us because on those ones where we do spike a run, we get, in addition to the sixth and seventh win, getting you more than 100 gold per win. They also are the ones that massively increase your chance, and in some play, in the case of 6 and 7 wins, ensure that you'll get some rares. So um, I would much rather finish with a 7 and 3, or I guess a 7 and 2. I'd much rather finish with a 7 and 2 and then a 1 and 3 than I would with 2 4 and 3s. So in that regard, if I'm gonna get 8 wins, I'd rather you know do them kind of together than I would spread out. So I don't know if that made a ton of sense, but I think you understand the gist of what I'm trying to say. Let's see what our uncommons are. Okay, we get another one of these guys. This does see play in the kicker deck that we're trying to slowly put together just with cards we open. So that is nice. And let's see. Are we going to play another one? I'm not sure that we're doing that. I'm not sure that we're going ahead and starting a new one. We've been live for 2.5 hours. I'm kind of tired. Maybe I was looking forward to, since we started earlier, just kind of seeing how much we could get in. But maybe 2.5 hours is just kind of my, threshold for what I can stream now without it being exhausting. So I think maybe we will look for somebody to raid and just go ahead and call it here. The other option would be to start another event, but just not finish it. But I really have been enjoying completing an event and not kind of picking up a new stream in the middle of an event. So I think maybe we'll just go ahead and call it here and look for somebody to raid. Remus, as always, I appreciate you coming and hanging out and being so active in chat. Thank you for that. We have gotten up to 8 followers now. We are moving towards our next follower goal. Remus, before we look for somebody to raid, speaking of the follower goals, do you have any ideas of fun things that other streamers do, or even if they don't, things that you would like to see us do for follower goals? Right now, I'm just saying thank you, but I would like to start to try and find ways to interact with chat in different ways and find ways to kind of encourage that two-way building of the relationship between the streamer and the viewers. So let me know if you have any ideas about what we might be able to do for follower goals when we hit those goals. You can kind of think about that, and you can see if they want to direct duel you. Oh, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I like that idea quite a bit, actually, Remus. Good thinking. I will see if I can set that up. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe when we hit a sub goal, like at the end of a night, we'll anybody who's on, we can do a duel or two. I like that idea quite a bit. Good thinking, sir. Okay. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and put the thanks for watching screen up, and I will, if you want to hang out for just a second, I will find us somebody to raid. For everybody watching this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yes, I am. First strike. Yeah, I don't think anybody has lifelink except for him. All right. We should have this. Well, that made no sense. Hey, how's it going, Remus? Just started. It's going a little rough at the start, but I switched to elves, so I should get the climb should start getting going now. Vigilance first strike, got it. Where because we were in Mythic, we're already in Platinum, so we'll keep going. Nice to see you guys on the stream. If you like what you see, please give a follow. Just gonna keep rolling into games, just go as fast as we can here. That's the beauty of elves. Oh, thanks for the raid, Otto. Appreciate it. I don't like that. Don't like that either. Don't like that either, but I'm not going lower. Not a very good hand. Let's see if we can make something happen. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, send him. Get your treasure. Get your treasure. I'd love to see a collected company right now. If I can get a collected company, that would be sick. I would be very pleased. Don't like seeing that. I do not like what that card means. Okay. This card is bad news right here. Ooh, I love it. You'll love to see it. Usually I'll wait till the end step, but because I don't have the fourth creature, well, I'll be able to do it with that actually. So I'm going to just send. Yeah, because I'll have the fourth, so I'm going to still do it on the end step. Alright, so let's see what he does here. I'll let it happen. That should be enough for us. See what happens here. Quit. All right, good. On to the next one. 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 So we're just trying to get to Mythic as fast as possible, so then we can start screwing around with the metagame. Trying to pocket as much gold as I can before the next set comes out on, I think it's the 11th. I really like this pet. Kind of jealous. I bought the packs for the pre-release because I'm not in the draft, but I wish that the pet came with it. I think it's pretty cool. Really looking forward to making a nice vampire deck in historic as soon as that new set comes out. It looks sick. I think we're going to be able to do a lot of fun stuff with that set. Alright, so this is a race against the clock right here. Because he's got this out, so he's trying to get to Muxus as fast as possible. That's his whole game plan. So we're racing him. It's a race. Okay. Alright, I don't like that. So he's got enough now to go off. He's got the Muxus. He has to have the Muxus. I hope not, but I got a bad feeling. He has to have it. He would have blocked if he didn't have it. Yeah. Alright, now we just hope for a whiff. That is not a whiff. That is not a whiff. That is GG. Welcome to historic. Nothing you can do about that. That's just something you got to deal with. Take the loss, move on to the next one. Best way to do it. Forget about it. Have a short memory. Right. Usually I like to have a mana dork, but this is pretty good, so I think I'll stick with this and see where it takes me. Holy Elvish Arch Druid. Please let me get one or two of these fuckers out. Please. That's not good. Oh. That's interesting. Wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, wow. That's crazy. I have never seen that before. That is cool. Enchantment aura. Alright, it's from Jumpstart. Ha! I have never seen that before. That is crazy. Oh yeah, that's infinite. That's definitely infinite. Have you guys ever seen that before? I've never seen that. That was crazy. Who would have ever thought of using that vampire from fucking Ixalan or whatever the fuck it was? Rivals of Ixalan. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna start stringing these wins together. We got this. Alright, this is pretty good. Get rid of one of the collected companies. Yeah, I honestly, I play a ton of Historic. That's the first time I've ever seen that. It's pretty cool, though. I like it. It's like gonna break the game if you let it go. It just goes forever. I definitely need a mana to get the ball rolling here. Alright, whatever. I'm okay as long as I get a mana. Yep. That's the night. That's the night that's going on right now. You can tell it's the start of the season. Uh-oh, indeed. He's got the kill spell, so that spells disaster with this Dread Horde. Yeah, okay. So we'll just forget that ever happened. That's gone. That one's gone. E. Bergman. E. Bergman. No, this sucks right here. This is not good. This is much better. This is the way the game works, so it's a numbers game. You just keep playing, and then you're gonna just over time, you'll keep gaining. As long as you maintain a good win rate. But you're gonna have bunches where you lose like 5 in a row, but You just keep going and eventually you'll catch your stride. That's the whole trick to getting a mythic, is just putting in the games. You gotta last. What's your favorite decks to grind to mythic with? Like, what do you guys usually do? Do you do historic? Do you do elves? Do you do like mono red and standard, or historic? What do you guys do? So this is probably going to be Phoenix, I'm assuming. Standard Gruul Werewolves. That's pretty sick, man. I was playing a little Gruul earlier, and it didn't do very well. But it is the first day of the season, so everybody's jumbled up into Platinum, so it's pretty tough. Once you get through a couple of days, it starts to, the good players start to move up. That first day, especially since like it just switched over this afternoon at like 4 or something, 3 or 4. Mono green's legit. It's just everything in mono green is such a threat. It's just all such good threats. That's what makes it so sick. There's no easy outs against mono green. They're 2 drops good. They're fucking 3 drops good. They're 4 drops good. It just keeps going and going. And then if you can get the Chariot making a copy of the token created by Renin 6, it's all over. Alright, so we're going to sit on the collected company. Hopefully we can get what we need to close the game out. We'll see what happens. With the way the luck's been going tonight, I don't know. With my luck, we'll probably do collected company and get like a fucking Llanowar elves or some shit. That's about how it's going. Okay. Just checking to see if he has any more Phoenix put into his graveyard. Worse things have happened, my friends. Worse things have happened. That was a pretty good collective company. So 9, so he won't be able to finish us off, but we might be able to finish him off. So we just take it. And we got to win here. Alright. And I think we did it. Yep, got him. We had good timing on the collected company. Got a really good collected company. Doesn't get any better than that. Let's go. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So I'm running with elves after this next match. If you want, I'll give you guys. I'll give you a little tour of the deck. Welcome to the stream. If you like what you see, please please give a follow. Let's go. I like the chat today. There's a lot going on. Feels good. Makes it more lively. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the views and the follows. We're just starting out here, so every single follow and view is very much appreciated. We're going to hold back on this because I don't want to get one-shotted here. Play them in EDH. Nice. Yeah, Elf Ball is fun in EDH. Lathril. Which one is Lathril? Is that the one where you is that the token generator one, or which one is that? Is it old or new? Alright. Oh, this is perfect. Alright, so this is going to trigger this. We're in great shape here, guys. I wanted a 1-drop that had a 1-2 so that this couldn't one-shot it. So this could not have worked better because the 4 is going to trigger this. And then on their end step, we're going to collect the company and win the next turn. So unless something catastrophic happens, we should win the next turn. Yeah, it was the one from like 2 sets ago. I remember that. That's pretty legit. I remember that. It was one of the pre-con face cards. Yep. Sick, man. Now we just hope he can't Mux us. Because this is scary. If he can Mux us, our perfect game might be ruined here. Yeah, I play Urza in CEDH. I play Urza. See, I play mainly CEDH. Alright, this is great. We're going to get a bunch of tokens here, and it looks like he didn't get the Muxus. And he doesn't know we have the Crater Hoof, so he thinks he's safe because he got rid of that war. Yeah, Urza's very scary. I do the polymorph version. We have the one creature, the Tyrant, and you just fucking go off. It should be GG right here. And our opponent just shit his pants. Alright, I'll show you the deck so you can get a look at it. Alright. Alright, so pretty basic build, pretty universal. The only difference is I only have 2 Chancellors. No particular reason, it's more just I just never got around to making them, and I was winning without making the fourth one, the third and fourth ones. So I just kind of rolled with it. Doesn't seem to hurt the deck at all. This right here is key. 3 go. This is essentially just fucking budget Geyer's Cradle. So getting this out early just opens up the door to win the game right away. These guys are cool because they get pumped by your pump creatures, because this takes on the form. It's like a changeling. It takes on the form of any creatures that are your dominant creatures. So that's very good. Sentinel Manadork. What makes this good is everything. It stops all your cards from being countered. Also,